All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory, and all honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Dash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. There's another edition of GMS News and Prophecy. More news pertaining to World War III, all right, a World War III update. This here is from the New York Times, dated May 29th, 2020. It says, U.S. warns of Russian bid for Libya stronghold after warplane delivery. All right. And this is definitely prophecy manifesting itself pursuant to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, where it says that Libya is going to be allied to Gog and Magog. Okay. And we're seeing them getting closer and closer to being those allies. So let's see here. Let's see. So I'll just read this first part here because I have another article. So it says the U.S. military believes the Russian introduction of warplanes into Libya may not tip the balance in the stalemated civil war, but could further help Moscow eventually secure a geostrategic stronghold in North Africa, a U.S. general said on Friday. Russian military personnel have delivered 14 MiG-29 and Su-24 fighter jets to the Libyan National Army's Jufra Air Base, the U.S. military says, despite denials from the LNA and the Russian member of parliament. All right. It says U.S. Brigadier General Gregory Hadfield, Deputy Director of U.S. Africa Command's Intelligence Directorate, told a small group of reporters the Russian aircraft's flight path originated in Russia and passed through Iran and Syria before reaching Libya. Hadfield said the aircraft had not been used yet, but could add new capability for Eastern Commander Khalifa Haftar's LNA, which has so far failed in its year-long effort to capture Tripoli, the seat of the internationally recognized government of national accord. So Russia, the U.S. is basically saying Russia has shipped fighter jets to Libya. All right. Now, this is prophecy, and I'm going to get the scripture that I referenced because, like I said, Russia and Libya in these last days becoming allies is very important when it comes down to Armageddon and World War III taking place. OK, so as we go into Ezekiel chapter 38. All right. It says this. Okay, so this is Ezekiel 38, and I'll start at the top. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog," that's Russia, okay, "the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say," and that's what we're doing. We're prophesying against all these heathen nations, okay. You know, whether it be Esau and America ruling or Esau and Russia ruling or Europe. Okay, our job is to prophesy. It says, "And say, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth." So the Heavenly Father is saying he's going to be in control over these countries, okay? Russia in particular. Now, we've been saying over the years, and we've been saying that because of what it says in the scriptures, that Libya, Persia, which is Iran, is going to be allied with Russia, and we're seeing that come to pass. Okay, so what we've been saying is making itself true through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So it says now, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws." So it's beyond Russia being an ally with America now is now them forming their own coalition with countries like China, Iran, Pakistan, Turkey, and Libya. And this is what the prophecy says. It says, "And I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And this goes into the, I'll say, really over the last 20 years, the military buildup that Russia has done, developed, especially when it comes to nuclear missiles, hypersonic nuclear missiles. That's this prophecy filling itself. It says Persia, all right, which is Iran today, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. So Libya, Iran, all these countries, Ethiopia, certain other Middle Eastern and African countries are going to be allied with Russia. Okay? And they are being allied with Russia. All right, this is verse 6. It says, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. That's talking about Turkey. Okay, Gomer is Turkey. All right, so these countries, Turkey, Libya, Iran, they're being allied with Russia pursuant to the prophecy in Ezekiel 38th chapter. All right, now, we're seeing the riots and protests and things that are sparking up now. The coronavirus pandemic, the volatile fluctuation of the stock market here in America and around the world, all that's prophecy. But we can never forget World War III is also going to take place. Oh, and also the mark of the beast, all right? The microchip implant, okay? That's going to come to pass. But we're seeing the word of the Lord being executed in the earth, okay? Now verse 7 says, Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. All right, so the preparation is Russia sending these war planes, fighter jets over there to Libya to help to prepare. It says, and be thou guard unto them. And Russia is going to guard its interest that it has in Turkey and Iran and Libya, all right, in China and other places, because that's the next superpower that's basically the reemergence of Russia, not necessarily the USSR, but it's the re-emergence of Russia and its allies as a superpower in the earth. And they're going to go toe-to-toe, war-to-war with America and the land of Israel, the state of Israel. And they're going to destroy America and the state of Israel, the land of Israel, through these nuclear missiles. Okay? And when the smoke all clears, the only nation that's going to rule in the earth, the true next superpower to rule in the earth, are going to be the Hebrew Israelites, the elect, the 144,000, Yahushua, King David, and the men that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahushua, the prophets turned into kings and priests. Okay, and the rest of the 1/3, we're going to rule the earth. But this prophecy of Ezekiel 38 and the war of Armageddon has to take place. And there was another article, and this is from Watch Jerusalem. Okay. This is from June 2nd, 2020, the year of prophecy. Man, it's been a heavy year. So it says Russia expands its presence in Libya. Okay, so, this is what's being reported in the news. Okay. And I'll just read this top part pretty much, because I pretty much made the point. But it says the United States military on Tuesday accused Russia of delivering repainted stealth fighter jets to Libya in support of Field Marshal Khalifa Haftar's forces. The U.S. Africa Command statement said the Russian military aircraft are likely to provide close air support, right? Does not the prophecy say, be thou a guard unto them? Okay. So it says Russian military aircraft are likely to provide close air support and offensive fire in an effort to once again give Haftar the upper hand against the government of national accord. In doing so, Russia is cementing itself as an immovable pillar in Libya. The U.S. Africa Command claimed that the jets came from a Russian airbase before briefly stopping in Syria, where they were repainted to camouflage their Russian origin. Russian officials dismissed the claim as fake news. The country has long denied involvement in Libya, which, a lot of these countries, you know, they play semantics back and forth, and you know, they pit one news media against another news media, but the prophecy says otherwise. You know, there's also I did a video a few months back on basically how Russia, not Russia, excuse me, Turkey is has actually sent troops to help support Libya, and their I believe is, you know, and their civil war that they have going on down there, you know, and Turkey is a direct ally of Russia now. So, you know, it's you know, what's to be seen is you know, is yet to be seen, I guess, if this particular news is true. You know, I'm gonna say that on record, but the scripture says that they are going to be joined unto them. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out, but it's definitely prophecy. Prophecy is definitely going to come to pass. It says U.S. Army General Stephen Townsend said Russia is clearly trying to tip the scales in its favor in Libya, describing the newly arrived planes as Russia's fourth-generation jet fighters. Haftar's forces will not be able to arm, operate, and sustain these jet fighters without support from Russia, according to the U.S. You know, and this can be true. So, you know, Ezekiel 38, you know, World War III, you know, things are happening quick. So, if anything, you know, they're definitely soon going to be supporting each other anyway, you know. But I'm in it there. You know, this is GMS News and Prophecy. Our praises, our glory, and our honors going to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.